In last week's episode, we find ourselves in a beautiful and remote spot called Talan Bay. Whilst taking Hank for a walk and exploring the rugged coastal path, we came across a magnificent looking place, a remarkable Cornish fishing village with a rich history steeped in privateering and smuggling. And despite not being an anchorage, this place was simply too idyllic looking not to be included in our great British anchorages guide. Although trying to moor Cadoa here was going to present us with some new challenges. So it was back to Talan Bay to work out our plan, as well as brush the dust off of some of our mooring equipment.
So this place is only around the corner, so we're just going to motor around and then the fun begins. One of the biggest challenges we have with this is the fact that Cadoa doesn't go astern very well, and so if we end up on the west moorings, that could be a real problem, and so hopefully we'll get on the east moorings, but we won't know unless somebody else has taken them until we get there.
Polperro is a very short journey westward from Talan Bay.
Well, the good news is, as we're coming around the corner, all the boats that were here earlier have left, so we've got the entire place to ourselves. We're going to pick the most eastwardly trot moorings and the most forward seaward trot moorings, because that seems to be both the deepest pool of water and the most wiggle room, just in case Cadoa starts getting a bit, shall we say, capricious with the idea of going backwards. This is actually our first ever time attempting to trot moor. Yes, we could have maybe tried it for the first time on a gargantuan river like the River Dart, but no. We thought a really thin valley with jagged reefs either side would be, you know, why not jump in at the deep end?
East side mooring, and then grab that, and then you jump in the dinghy and take the aft line back. Just come round that way.
We are now approaching the entrance. And that's the one we're going to try and pick up. Alright. We are single looped on. I'm thinking there has to be an easier way, surely. Any of you seasoned vets, trot mooring vets, have any tips to make that less chaotic, then please jump in the comments, let us know. I'm all ears. I am a perpetual student, the master of nothing. Help us get better. This town is like the best part of a 1,000-year-old fishing community, and it's famous for both fishing and smuggling, so we're going to go have a look around and see if we can scratch the surface of some of that history. Come on in.
Polperro really is an idyllic old fishing village with beautiful cottages which cling onto the cliffs. Once you get behind the harbour's breakwater, you see firsthand that Polperro really very much is still an active fishing port, the spoils of which are shared amongst all of the local residents. Polperro has a colourful history, not just as a fishing port, but as a smuggler's paradise. The late 1700s saw the peak of this booming trade. Some local families commanded multiple vessels that took part in not just smuggling, but privateering also, which was essentially the legalised sacking of predominantly French vessels for the most part. Much of this village's quirks and charm from yesteryear are still very much on display today, from the cobbled back streets to the old quirky-looking taverns. There's old English charm or welcoming hospitality waiting around every corner. That goes for your four-legged friend too. There was a lovely little dog bar packed full of treats, all ready for Hank.
Strawberry and apple. Straight in there. Should we get that?
And after a morning of exploring this beautiful village, there was an issue back on Kadoa that was rapidly becoming a somewhat urgent one that needed attending to.
I can't lie, I've been putting this job off for a while, but it's got to a point of borderline disgrace.
And after order was once again restored back to Kadoa's hull, it was time to head back into town to pay our £15 mooring fee to the harbour master, who could be found in the Polperro Museum tea room of all places, after which we took Hank back to the coastal path where we had spotted an abundance of treats.
Okay, so whilst we're taking Hank for a walk along this coast path, we've basically walked into the fruitiest area I think we've walked in. There's always nuts or fruit on nearly every walk along the coast that we take in. In fact, we've got them all mapped out in our head. If we want pears, we know where to go. If we want hazelnuts, we know where to go. If we want plums, we know where to go. If we want figs, we know where to go. Blueberries are blackberries, sorry, are absolutely everywhere. We've got apples here. We've got, are they slowberries over there?
Yeah.
We've got elderflower over here. This is amazing, but this is my favourite. So, when it comes to blackberries, when they're black, obviously you can eat them. Now you've got two stages of ripe blackberry. You've got the squishy ones, like this one here. That'll be really, really sweet. Or you've got the just not quite there. They're really firm and they're really sour. And it's the really sour ones that I love. Just give you that sharp tingle. And then if you want to get really funky, then you can take a hard one. That looks like that is a soft one. And you can have one of my favourite impromptu wild food cocktails, sweet and sour blackberry. Mother Nature's finest.
And as the sun began to set on Polperro, we had our sights set on a place that we were sure captured the very essence of Polperro's colourful past.
This is a great pub.
Coming to visit Polperro on a yacht can feel a bit heart-stopping once you start manoeuvring into the port. And it goes without saying that you wouldn't want to attempt this stop in anything except the most calm and settled conditions. But if you're lucky enough to find some good weather, as well as an empty mooring, then you're in for a real treat here. It's also worth remembering that almost every place we visit and share on Codoa.com can be reached by car or on foot too. You don't need a boat to enjoy these magical destinations.